Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Laura and this is Purely Inspired Living. So, on Friday, May the 19th, 2023 in Eastern Time Zone, the moon is going to be a new moon in Taurus. So I had a lot of interest in my astrology basics video that I did the other day. I'll link that up here if you guys want to check that out. But I thought it would be a really good way for us to start learning astrology a little bit better about what these houses mean, about how the moon works, things like that, through doing a moon video, a little thing about what phase the moon is in. And I'm going to be talking about two phases, the new moon and the full moon. There are several phases of the moon. Again, basics, right? We're basic people, and that's okay. So we are going to look at the new moon and then the full moon. So there'll be videos associated with that to kind of help us start to understand these zodiac signs for one, and then also how we can use astrology in our daily lives for our self-awareness, self-growth, right? So let's get started. I will say I am using the Moonology Manifestations Oracle deck right here. It's kind of my study guide. It gives us a visual. It also kind of gives us a few words at the bottom of each card that kind of tell you what is happening. And then I will read from the booklet so we can hear what that has to say. But first, let's talk about what a new moon is. So in astrology, a new moon happens when the sun and the moon are at the same degree in the same sign. All right, it's a dark moon. There's some science, some astronomy behind that, but I'm not an astronomy teacher, so we're not going to get into that. You can Google search what a new moon looks like if you're curious about why the moon is dark. But a new moon is a good time for us to think about our intentions for the next moon cycle. What is it that we want to grow and foster over the next month? A Taurus moon, or specifically Taurus energy. Taurus is an earth sign. It is also known as fixed energy. So earth signs are very, very stable. Taurus is like the stablest of stable in the zodiac. And fixed, we often think of stubborn, but let's call it determined. I think that sounds much nicer, a much more positive spin, right, than stubborn. We'll go determined. So here's a little card. All right, so again, this is a great time to reflect on where we've been and where we want to go over the next month. The best things that we can do are really reflect on our best traits. If we do a journaling practice, we can really focus on our self-worth, okay? Here's a little image of Taurus right here. See, we have the bull, and down here it says cultivate. All right, so we're trying to really cultivate that feeling of self-worth. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and read from the Oracle Guide. So Taurus, know your worth. You're on the right track, but you need to go steadily. Knowing that you're worthy of your desires is crucial here. Opportunities open up when you believe in yourself. Dig deep and move past negative comments from others. No matter what happened in the past, if you're aiming to manifest something for the good of everyone concerned, you can do it. Good self-esteem will also boost your manifesting powers. So love yourself more. Know your own worth, and others will too. Be true to your values. So one of the hardest things that we can do is to tell ourselves that we are worth it. It's something that we overlook and we don't really think about a lot. So when we're just going through our everyday lives, we're not really thinking about ourselves in that kind of positive light. We're focusing on the task at hand, or we're thinking about how inadequate we are. So for the next 2 weeks, let's come together as a community and let's journal about our traits, our self-worth, and let's journal about our values. It's a really hard step to recognize that we're worthy, and doing a journaling practice can really help us focus in on those and actually give us the intention of figuring out where we're worthy, and it helps us understand why we're so awesome. I know you're awesome, but I don't always know that I'm awesome. So these next 2 weeks, focusing in on thinking about how awesome I am, how awesome we all are, what we hold valuable to us, not in a monetary sense, but what values do we hold to a high regard? Where do we think that we have certain characteristics, certain traits that are really, really helpful in modern world, in our everyday life, and just with this idea of Taurus, where we can, where we show signs of determination, where we show signs of really cultivating worth, really reflecting on these ideas. For the most part, we're going to be writing about where we think we are worthy, and we are going to be telling ourselves that we are worth it. Because if we don't tell ourselves that we're worth it, who's going to? If we don't embody that, if we don't embody being worthy, people aren't going to see it. So we have to own that. And you know what? It doesn't matter if people see it or not, as long as we see it. That is where self-worth resides, is when we see our worth. So these next 2 weeks between now and the full moon, let's really show ourselves that we are worth it. Another thing with Taurus is it's a very feely sign. It's all about the feels. So something else, not just writing down why we're worthy, where we're worthy, but then also find ways that we can feel it. The more we write it down, the more we're just going to feel it in our hearts. But how can we embody that, put that in our body and feel it in our body? At first, it might feel kind of silly because, again, we don't like to think of ourselves as being worth it. We usually do the opposite, right? The next 2 weeks, we are going to tell ourselves that we are worth it, and we are going to own that in our body. We're going to feel how much we are actually worth it. I believe in you, and I'm so proud of you. And all right, I will see you back on these videos at the full moon. So good luck with your journaling. Hey, leave comments down below about how your journaling practice is going. If you're comfortable sharing what's coming up for you, I'd love to hear from you. If you are enjoying these videos, go ahead and like them. Subscribe to the channel so you can get updates on when these videos are coming out. And if this is something that you know somebody else would find beneficial, go ahead and share it. I really appreciate all your love and support. So until next time, I hope you stay inspired.